Welcome to another episode of Astral Auto Repairs. Can you dig it? Alright, 2001 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo. Today I'm going to show you how to change the rear rotors. This has disc brakes in the back, so it has rotors. Customer's complaint, driving down the road, the back all of a sudden starting to shake. Check out another video we did. We changed the rear brake hoses, because what happens is the brake hoses collapse. They won't let fluid back up into the master cylinder, so it heats up them rotors, causes the brakes to start smoking. They'll heat up. Once them rotors get hot, they warp. So we got the vehicle jacked up, and let's go over what you're going to need, the tools you're going to need, and I'm going to explain to you about the emergency brake system on this vehicle also. All right? First thing you do, the cap to the master cylinder, take that off. All right? Now let's get this camera set up in the back to get this job done. Okay, let's go over the tools you're going to need. You're going to need a shallow 18mm socket with a 3/8 drive. Get your 3/8 drive ratchet to go with it. You're going to need a 7mm hex socket with a 3/8 drive socket. You're going to need that. You ain't going to need that. You ain't going to need that. And, check this out, you're going to need a flat tip screwdriver. I got two because this one, the edge is broken off. And if it wasn't, I use that one, but I'm going to use both of them because this one's at a real fine point. Now, the first thing you want to do is, now when you're going to replace the rotors on this, the new rotor is thicker than the original one. So if you just take all this apart and try to put that rotor on and put that caliper back on, it's not going to work, because the piston on the caliper, because you've been using the brakes, has came out some already. So what we need to do first is push that piston back into the caliper, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that once we get this taken apart. Alright, so let's set this camera up right here. Okay, and what you want to do here is you want to get the screwdriver. See right there, there's the piston right in there. So what you want to do is get that screwdriver in there and try to, between the rotor and the brake pad, and pry that pad back as much as possible. Let me get this. This is why I like the smaller one first. And you want to try not to damage the brake pad itself. There. Now it's back all the way. Next thing we want to do is, we got this little clip here in the front. Get our screwdriver. Pop that off. That little part goes right inside the caliper. Once you pop one off, the other one comes off fairly easy. Next, what we're going to do is, let me set this camera up better, because we got the two bolts in the back that hold that caliper on. All right, let's get this camera up in a different position. See if we can get that. You get a better look at that. Okay, yeah, that's much better. Now what we got a bolt, the hex socket right here, 7mm. And you got one at the bottom, same size. And you notice what I do is just tap it a little bit. Make sure, just to break that loose. You can see, here's one of the bolts. And you don't really have to take them out all the way. I'm just doing this to show you how they look. You see it's got the head on it. It's got the hex head in it. I'm going to take this caliper and move it over to the side, just like that. Okay. Now let's swing our camera back around to the other side. Now, this is the piston I was telling you about. Closer here. Here's the brake pad. Pop this brake pad off. That's the piston I was telling you about inside of here. Before you put new brake pads on and everything, that has to be pushed way back in there. And once you do, the brake pad, this one, just slide right in there. So we'll lean it over to the side. Now, here's your caliper bracket. Let's get this brake pad out of there. And here's your caliper bracket right here. Because the rotor can't come off without that. So that's where your 18 millimeter comes in at. And there's 2 bolts right in back of it. Let me get you over here. You got 1 and then 2. Alright, we're going to pop those 2. Those bolts are really kind of tight sometimes. So I want you to be careful with that. Let's see here. Pop that bottom one loose. Okay. 2 bolts are out. Take the bracket right off. Let's lay it down. The rotor should come right off, but because it gets rusty right here and all, I have to hit it with a hammer right here, or try to just tap it with a hammer, move it around and tap it right there. Let me show you in a minute. Let's go get a hammer. All right, here we go. 2 ways of doing this. One, you can try to hit it right between the studs, but make sure you don't hit the studs. What I like to do is just hit it from the back and see if I can get it loose. Definitely don't want to try that. Now, check this out. Look at those brake pads in there. Those brake pads are for the emergency brakes. So when you put up on the emergency brakes, pull up on the emergency brakes, these open up and lock up inside the drum. Well, inside this drum, which is also actually a drum and a rotor. Alright, so set that down. Let's go get our new rotor. And I need you to get some anti-seize. Alright, I'll show you what that means in a minute. Alright, here's our new rotor. Brand new. In case you want to know, it's part number 76794. Alright, so let's set this up there. You do not have to have these cut or anything. They're brand new, they come already cut. And, you know, so you ain't got to worry about putting it on and no shaking or anything. Don't let nobody tell you anything different. Alright, let's get this rotor up there. Perfect fit. Next we're going to go over here. Now before we get any further, what I want you to do is get you some anti-seize. I'm going to show you what we're going to need with this. Alright? It comes in gray, copper color. I got the copper color. Get you some anti-seize and get you a wire brush and join me. Okay. Our caliper bracket is going to go on next. Our brake pads slide on these right here, on these, but this one's messed up. See that? See the indentation right there? That means that brake pad will go in there and get locked up, and it'll cause these brakes to overheat. We definitely gonna need some new ones on this. Let me go let the customer know. We'll be right back. Alright, we called up Fisher Auto Parts because we cannot put this together like this. You know, these brakes will completely mess up. You look at the indent now. The brake pads slides on that. You see that? I mean, that thing is really messed up. We got to get some new. These are called caliper brackets. We definitely got to get some new ones. And you know what we're gonna do is let's go on to the other side and pull that apart and see how that one looks. But if one is like this, I'm going to be changing both no matter what. Alright, let's go over to the other side and pull that apart. Okay, here we are on the left side. Let's pop this clip out. And 7mm hex. Take a look at these brackets. $7mm hex bolts. Let's get both of them out of here. Okay, let's see how this slider looks. This one looks a little better. There's a little ridge up here, so I'm not even going to take no chance with it. I'm going to get us another one. Let's get our 18mm socket. Pop these off. Well, figure we gotta take them off anyway. We're changing the rotors. Okay. Let's pop this rotor off. Let's go get our new rotor and set that one up there. Okay, let's set our new rotor on. Alright, now looking at this caliper is not that bad and all, but you know, you want to make sure, like, see, that's that indentation right there, that's no good. That is no good at all. And this one right here, so you definitely gonna have to get new we definitely gonna have to get new caliper brackets, and we gotta order those. So we'll set all our parts down, clean everything up, and I'll let the customer know. Alright, we'll be right back. Alright, pretty much this video does show you how to replace the rear rotors on this Jeep, but as you see, we came into an issue, gnats suck, with the rear caliper brackets, because what's going to happen is, as he's stepping on the brakes, them brake pads are going to go in, and they're going to get to them point, and they're going to not move no more. They're going to back up. It's going to cause us to heat up. So we definitely got to change that. So actually what we're going to do, we're going to do another video on replacing the caliper brackets, because we don't have to remove the rotors. But now you get the gist. You know exactly how to change your rotors. If you have any problems at all, you know, with that, put it in the comments. I'll be more than happy to help. This is Timmy from Astral Auto Repairs. If we can't repair it, nobody can. Nobody can anyway. But check it. Y'all take it easy.